Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Man the Maker, and welcome back to Deep Sky Derelicts. That's right, I have not forgotten about this game. Not at all. I've had it on the edge of my mind to come back to it. If you're unfamiliar with it, I have played both the full campaign and 1.5 arena runs. It is a kind of roguelike exploration / combat card-based RPG. A lot of fun. I enjoyed very much, and as I'm currently waiting to get some feedback on one of my Star Traders playthroughs, I was like thinking I wanted to play something that I knew would not be long, right? That was not open-ended. Like if I did Tales of Magi, if I do well and the game can last for quite a long time. Same thing with the Star Traders or basically any strategy game that I might play. Deep Sky Derelict has an end. And one that's not actually that far from the start of it, if we do Arena. So, and what is Arena? It's basically, I think it's like 15 battles that you take your team on. Very, very limited healing. No respawns. And, yeah. And I thought to myself, you know what? This fits in perfectly. So, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and jump into the arena. Now, you have your different classes. You get a couple, some very minor perks. What we're going to do, switch to hardcore. I don't know if this actually makes a difference on... doesn't make the game harder. It just means that you're a permadeath. Which on Arena, I don't know if actually makes a difference. What we're going to do is we're going to random it. Right? So in my campaign, I had a team that was kind of... wasn't exactly the holy triumvirate of tank, DPS, and healer, but it was more like tank / DPS with healer / support, basically just with 2 supports, who really made this guy, the Bruiser, absolutely insane. It was medic, leader, and Bruiser. And basically, we just drugged this guy up like crazy, gave him tons of cards, and just let him go nuts. I also had kind of a robot-based build, which was not what I intended on doing when I started, but it is what we ended up on. And this time, I thought to myself, we are going to go ahead and just random it. Whatever we get, we're going to go with. And what do we have? We've got a tracker, a leader, and a Bruiser. Very interesting. He's got 5% recycling. So what does that mean? It means 5% of the time when you use an ability, you get that ability back, right? Because it's a card-based game, so when you use an ability, usually you discard it. 5% chance that you don't. Neurotic, a little bit more initiative, so he might go a little bit further. And charismatic, you've got 15 mental. That's really, really useless, but it is what it is. So what is the situation here? Leader is support, and he can also be, I believe, a bit of... what is it? A tank. I think you can make him into a tank. The Bruiser can also be a tank, can also be damage, and Tracker is damage. So we're going to have to kind of consider. We're going to have to think about what we're going to do with each of these people. Because, I mean, the leader can kind of be support. I don't know how much the Tracker can be morphed into a support, and I don't know, are these guys all kind of the primaries, right? We don't have a scrapper. We don't have the healer guy. We don't have the shield guy. Might make things a little bit tough. But hey, this is what it is. We're going to go ahead and start. They have made some minor updates to the game. Apparently making it go a little bit quicker in loading. Normally this used to take quite a bit of time to load up the first time. Especially after starting the game, which I just did. I have to admit, going into this fight, I'm feeling a little bit skeptical as to my survivability. Without having somebody to boost the shields or give evasion or something. I'm not sure. It still apparently takes quite a bit of time to load this up. So we can start off. I think... Right, everybody has the weapons that you start with. We can't change anything with that. We have 0 ability points. So we're not going to look at any of this stuff yet. Right? No. Oh, It's nice that you can escape out of this. Oh, you used to not be able to do that, and it drove me crazy. And I can do that. We won't get into the stats or anything, or what any of this means until it actually becomes relevant to us. And I think what we just have to do is just go to the fight. So let's go. We are going to get stuck in with a couple of little guys, right? So here's how the game works. Based on initiative, you go, there's a turn order, which you can see down here. There's a round, so everyone, you can't go endlessly if you keep boosting your initiative. Eventually somebody else will go. And then, you get these cards. Now, these cards are based partly upon your class, which gives you access to certain items, as well as just certain basic class abilities that you unlock as you level up. And then the weapons that you use as well. And the weapons are somewhat interchangeable, right? So he's the only one who can use a long sword, laser sword, energy sword, thing like that. This guy doesn't get a ranged weapon at all. He's the Bruiser. He only has a heavy power melee weapon. This guy has like a power glove, but these two, even though it shows him with the rifle and it shows him with the pistol, they can use whatever you want. So the question is now, what do we want to go for? I think we're just going to go for straight off damage on these guys. We want to kill these as quickly as possible. Okay, it still does that initial lag. So we did a little bit of damage. We really, 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 really want to kill this thing. 5% evasion. Please don't evade. Nice. Right, the first fight doesn't have much strategy because we don't have much things to do. We've got overload done to us. So what overload does is it makes it... God, they're all going after you? Thank God. What overload does... provoking strike is beautiful. So this gives you taunt, which is, does exactly what you'd imagine. If I use this, everyone will attack us for only one turn. Okay, one turn. 100% weapon damage. We've got our normal damages. We can recharge our shields, but I think we're just going to go ahead, deal the damage, put the taunt on. He's got the most shields of anyone. And again, if we can hit this, we will kill this guy. Also, what overload does is means you don't draw cards. It's very annoying. We want to... I knew it! I knew he was going to evade it. So deal your damage. The enemies also have cards, by the way. That's nice, but... at this point... yeah, we should just kill it. So he's also going to be forced to attack him. Which is fine. Like, we can use the shield overcharge on him next turn. Now, if they break through our shields and deal health damage, we actually don't get that back. Not in this mode. Inspire is pretty good, but really, against these guys, we just need to kill them. We just need to kill them as quickly as possible. Please do not evade. Nice. So now we're down to one. If he attacks him, he could get through the shield. He did, of course, attack him. He just has the lowest health possible. And now I think we just go on attack. 10% evasion. Decent chance that they might evade. We're just going to go for the attack. Nice. And we get the kill. Combat result. So the way it typically works in Arena is every other fight you get a level up and you get a bunch of gear. We obviously did not get any of that, so we just will take all. We can't do anything. We have no new items to use. We just have to go ahead and move forward. Unfortunately, we did take a tiny bit of damage. Next fight is going to be harder. So we got skinks. These guys are a bit annoying. So what we can do now, right? We can, right, this is one of the leader's special abilities. Inspire. Allies draw one card and have a 14% chance to energize one. If he crits, we get +1 card and a 100% chance to energize one. Very nice to get that crit. Very low chance. What energize one does is it gives you just an extra movement, basically. I think I'm going to go with the Inspire. I could go for bonus damage on him, for example. The Inspire. Everyone draws a card. And the Energize. It's yeah, we're going to do the Inspire. Can't touch this. It is your turn, sir. I think we are just going to go for the Weapon Enhancer. On you. Oh, and you actually had Inspire. I should have Weapon Enhanced yourself. We're going to go and just try and kill the weaker ones first, I think. I really should have Weapon Enhanced myself. But he will be able to kill one next time. Weak Punch. Beautiful. It is actually incredibly weak. Acid Claw is less good because it gets a little bit less damage resistance. Alpha Strike does a bunch more damage. And Stagger. Stagger 2 means we had to discard some cards. Ugh. Fortunately, we do not, even with this Weapon Enhancer, how do we have so little damage? 66 does it not count it here? 15 damage. We can get the kill there. Let's do it. Take him out. Alright, is the Alpha's concerned? Please don't go after my weak guy. You did. Now, we could complement you and really go all in on the damage for this guy, which I think we're going to do. Please don't attack him. Thank you. More acid. Just the single strike is really bad. I expect him to start taking damage. Now, do we wipe out the skink? I think we do. He should be able to just kill him with a provoking strike. Very nice. Tons of damage. He's down. Now you will have to attack him. You've been stunned, which is less good. That's much less good. Double shot. Yeah, what can we do? Actually does the same amount of damage because he's got 1 armor. And 1 armor just reduces damage by 1. We've got no choice. Just do our basic attacks here. You've been stunned. It's really bad. We're just going to attack. Hopefully he doesn't attack you and get you down into that health. Ooh, you got that recharge. Very nice. Who will you attack? Yeah. It would have done a lot more damage to our health there. Could go for a bash. 10%. Target receives less initiative, which is good. Actually, we might be able to go all of us ahead of him next round. In fact, we can. So we can really just attack him with everybody. Mark target. It's not great. Well, we will mark it. Should have described what that does. It gives less damage resistance and less evasion. So if they've got 30% evasion, mark target will give them less than that. We will, of course. I will use the provoking strike just in some kind of crazy chance that we fumble and whatnot. Alright, well, we have leveled up and gotten a whole bunch of new loot. So we're just going to take all of it and we're going to go see what's going on over here. We can take a look at our crew. So, we've got our tracker here. Now, what we can do, right? So, this is the class ability. We got Mark Target, which is what I just described. Less gives a minus 20% damage resistance. Actually, plus 3% focus for each attack on the target. Tells you what it does right there. Each consecutive attack against the same target increases the user's damage against that target. So if I mark target and everyone attacks him, the next time this guy goes again, he's going to have, depending on how many times it was attacked, more and more damage done to it. Pretty good mark target. This makes it better, right? If we put 1 point into it, not only do we get more cards down here, and card management, deck management is definitely, I think, an important part of this game. And, you know, you don't want to have too much stuff. You don't want to have a huge amount of stuff over here. Because then you're just never going to draw what you want. It's like in Magic the Gathering. Like, there's a minimum of 60 cards in a normal deck. You can go over that, but if you do, then you dilute the essence of the deck, and you always want to keep your eye on that. Anyways, this adds... cancel. If we put 1 point into it, we get a third one. It makes the damage resistance and the evasion stronger, as well as we get more focus for each attack. If we put another point into it, even more damage resistance, completely kills any possibility for evasion, and we get 1 more focus. I forget how long it lasts for. 3 turns. Conversely, we could get Tools of the Trade, +8 weaponry. Weaponry basically just gives damage, gives duration of debuff, and crit chance for weaponry. Right? Each of these skills, they do something a little bit different, and we'll only kind of worry about that as we approach them, so we don't kind of overload ourselves. This just gives more damage. Bloop, bloop, bloop. As you can see, from where we are right now, we got plus 23% damage on weaponry cards. We put 3 points into it, plus 36 damage, as well as 8% crit chance. So these are all the weaponry cards, right? And I think, yeah, his weapon tool also does that. So this will give a bigger bonus on the duration of anything that we use. Like the weapon enhancer will have an increased duration chance, as well as additional crit. And then there's agile, giving evasion. And I gotta say, I'm pretty tempted to go for evasion because of how freaking weak this guy is. Like, we really need to get him invisible as soon as possible. Now, the question is, do I go all points into it? And I think I do. I mean, I would like to get... Mark Target is quite good, especially when we go into stealth. You can just turn him into a support. Turn him into a support, getting all kinds of weapon enhancers and mark targets and just making him invisible so he doesn't die. I think we have to give him all of the agile, though. Let's do it. We're going to make him harder to hit. Very important, I think. Alright, who's up next? We've got our leader, Biomechanical. Now, leader, they specialize in mental. 70% more powerful buff on mental cards, 70% duration on mental cards, and more credits from contracts and tasks. This is useless to us in this game mode, but it's actually rather handy to have generally. He also has pretty good weaponry, so you can tell that he's a good fighter, right? He's a decent fighter. He's also got that high mental. Inspire. This is where we can put points into. So this is, again, what we saw before, right? Draw 1 card, have a chance to give Energize 1. And if we crit, then it's an extra card and a 100% chance to Energize. We put more points into it, we get another one. Draw 2 cards and a 42% chance to Energize 1. If we put the next point into it, we just get another one. It's really, 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 really good. Inspire is amazing. Did I have another point? Oh no, because I put... Now what I might do... I think I want all my points into Inspire here, because getting those extra cards and the Energized 1 is really, 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 really good. And I really like Inspire. Expert Speaker is not bad. Gives a stronger buff on mental cards. Which, does that give a higher % chance? I don't actually know how that works. I don't think we want that. I don't know if we want Firestarter either, honestly. I mean, getting a first turn Inspire is probably pretty good. Probably pretty good. Yeah, let's boost it. Oh, nope. Did I clicked OK. Alright, looks like we gave ourselves 10 mental by accident. Very well, very well. Next up is our Mercenary. Now, what does he get? He gets Provoking Strike. So it's really, really good. Does more damage, right? We know this is the taunt. Gives it 2 turns of taunt. And if we go a third one, it's just more damage. It's also another card, right? So, like, having that extra card is really nice. And I do feel like having the taunt on him is going to be quite useful. Now, our leader at some point gets taunt. And I think we're going to have to kind of utilize that on him a bit. I'm not going to go too far up there. But we do get different ways to have taunts. Yeah, if somebody gets really weak, he will put taunt on himself. He gets a little bonus to evasion. Unrelenting, yeah, when he gets lower health, he just gets more damage resistance. Interesting things, but not something to worry about. It's just so far away, and I feel like we need the provoking strike. This, I mean, the damage resistance is beautiful. The damage resistance is beautiful, so we probably will go for that. The question is, do we do? I mean, getting 25% damage resistance is pretty damn good, but I feel like we need more taunts. I think we're going to go for that. Yeah. Get that damage resistance. Make him tough. Make him tough. So there you go. Not only are we out of time, as you can hear by the timer there, but we have put some points into things, which, if you know me, I absolutely love to do. Next episode, we're going to start off. We are going to go through all this new stuff that we picked up. Lots of new gear that we can take a look at. This is definitely always takes quite a bit of time in Arena because you just get boom, you just get dropped on like this. So we're going to do the start of the next episode and then start getting into a couple more fights. So I hope you guys stick around for that. If you guys like this game, if I always get a little, I don't know, uncomfortable doing the whole YouTube shtick, right? Like, comment, subscribe, etc. Every resource that I read says to ask, to say that, because people actually do respond. I don't really know. It's just the act of mentioning it. Oh yeah, subscribe. Oh yeah, like. I don't know. Do those things if you want. If you don't, well, you do you, boo. And until next time, my name is Man the Maker. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day.